We're here.
Yep.
We're here.
Finally.
Finally from let's see. What's today? Wednesday. You guys were here a few nights ago.
Yeah. Crazy night.
And there was something going on right here. What was that? We were doing a little tattoo action, if I remember.
Yeah, I mean, like, it was not a professional tattoo session, but I'm trying to learn.
Yeah.
You know, why not?
Looked professional enough for me. I liked it.
No, I mean, like, it's funny because some people see our videos and be like, you guys are stupid. You're doing something dangerous. That's for life. You're going to kill someone or whatever. But even though the drawing is not perfect and we are not professionals, how we clean and we prepare the environment is just as professionals as any tattoo shop. We are not playing around. We know that's, healthy. There are health things involved, and we're, of course, using the best equipment as we can, the best ink as we can, and also cleaning everything, taking the time to do it properly. But the drawing is amateur, of course.
I thought it was so proper that, like, our first podcast here was that night. We just hit record, and there was a camera up there. And not only was it a podcast, but it was a podcast studio and tattoo parlor. And I was like, that describes kind of like Bacon's and sailors in general, everything was just kind of, it was a party.
Yeah, it's cool that it's not something like the program that it's going to be like this, and this, and you have 100% control of what's going on. It's just like, let it flow, let it happen, and see what happened from there.
Right.
And the best part is that most of the people, they didn't know it was recorded.
And also, like, a lot of people come in and out all the time. So, like, like, it's not like just, I'm interviewing 2 people. No, interviewing like 10 people.
Oh, there was somebody here, and then there was somebody there, and then there was like 4 people over here, Matt and Jet, and they were just hanging out. Calico was over here, and Parlay was over there. It was it was the who's who of the sailing channel world, kind of in and out. It was awesome. It was like a
rub,
a mixer. Yeah,
it's like a rub where everyone gets together.
A rub. That's a good way. That's a good way to determine. So let's see. Boat show's wrapped up.
Yep.
This is y'all's second year doing it?
Second year.
I met y'all last year.
Yep.
And so what do you think? What do you think about it?
I think it's awesome. I mean, I think for us, we were joking this week that we have Annapolis Boat Show, Christmas, New Year, Annapolis Boat Show, Christmas, New Year.
Yeah.
I think it will become a year thing for sure, at least for us.
Oh, for sure.
And I mean, like, like when you live so far as we live, took us 24 hours to get here.
Right.
It costs us a lot of money to buy tickets. We are all the way in Brazil.
Yeah.
So we are in the north of Brazil. We need to fly to the south of Brazil to fly to the U.S. It's like tomorrow we have 4 flights. Literally 4 flights tomorrow.
Oh, my gosh.
But at the same time,
jet lag.
Yeah, but at the same time is that time of the year that we meet all our friends. Some of our friends we just meet once a year in Annapolis.
Right.
So it's totally worth. You meet a lot of new old friends. You make new friends, and that's what it's all about. It's basically making connections and creating relationships. Even more than doing transactions with companies and sponsors.
Yeah.
Eventually, you actually do that too.
Yeah, that comes.
But that's
later.
just that's like a consequence of actually creating relationships.
Yep.
And that's, for me, that's what this year was all about, creating relationships.
That's great. Yeah, and especially in the sailing world and the cruising and traveling world, those relationships that you make now, 10 years from now, you might say, oh, I remember I met this person with so-and-so, and I remember they were in Brazil, and let me hit them up real quick. Yeah. Or you might meet somebody who's, going to be in North Carolina, and you bring the boat up here, and oh, yeah, I met that one person, and all of a sudden, they got a good anchorage for you to stay at.
Yep.
And that's how it all, at least from I've been doing it for a while, that's how it's always been. And I think with, YouTube and blogs and Instagram and Patreon and companies that are companies and groups that are staying in contact with each other, that there's just going to be more of that, more 100%. Of the meetups and the greetings and all that stuff. And from what I heard, everybody loves you two, and I love you two so much. You guys are so cool. And
we love you guys. This shop is just like amazing. You guys, it's like a huge family. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's fun working here. It's like a kid in a candy store, kind of.
Yeah, and for us, to be honest, it's not just the boat show that became a year thing. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you realize, but we are keeping the pattern. Last year we came for the boat show. We stay an extra day. The day after the boat show, where did you go? To Bacon Sales.
Yeah.
This time, where did you go the next day? Bacon Sales.
Actually, we are staying in the house of the people we met last year.
Uh-huh.
So it's
Yeah.
also becoming a thing. Like
Yeah,
that.
because we stay on a house with like all the a lot of channels,
Uh-huh.
but everyone leaves the day after the boat show, and we were like, this year, we're like, no, we're gonna get a ticket 3 days after the boat show.
Yeah.
Because you never know we're gonna meet. You never know
Yeah.
what opportunities they're gonna show up. So we're gonna have extra 3 days in the city.
Yeah.
And until the last day, we had nowhere to stay for the last 3 days because we need to leave the house we are in. Where are we going to stay?
Uh-huh.
So then somehow last year we end up at a local's house in a pizza party.
Yeah.
And they were really cool people. And
Yeah.
this year we were walking on the boat show, and then suddenly we see this woman coming like, hey, I know you. I'm like, oh, I know you too. But it was like, took me
Yeah.
some time to realize who she was.
Yeah. Where do I know you from?
I mean, like, I know you. And then she's like, come to the pizza party again this week. And we end up not being able to go to the pizza party, but now we are at her house for like 2 days.
Yeah.
So
That's-
this is what I mean. It's just like you create connections and
That's
connections
cool,
and connections,
man.
and you just spread, I don't know, friendship.
What do y'all take away from this year that you didn't maybe pick up on last year as much? Anything kind of stick out for you, like vendor-wise, boat-wise, or relationships?
This year we didn't film anything. So we were just enjoying the moment.
Good.
I think this is the main difference.
Yeah, I think last year we were too focused on getting sponsors for our boat because we were refitting a boat. We need a lot of equipment. So we use a lot of the time to actually go company by company and talk to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
While this year we were more relaxed. We've been here once already.
Yeah.
Even though we are far from home, it's a little bit trickier for us because we're foreigners. We don't speak properly English. I mean, we do communicate, but we're
Very
not that
good
good.
English.
I mean,
and,
like,
I think so.
yeah, but I
better-
mean, like, we need to make effort to,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's not
Yeah.
natural. Like, some people just like, it's not even the language, it's the culture.
right.
So if you go talk to someone, you guys talk the same culture. We don't talk the same
Got
culture.
it. Yeah.
So it's a little bit, I think that we need to put a little bit more work than Americans channel.
Mm-hmm.
But this year we were like, let's just focus on making friends.
Yeah.
And to be honest, we never met so many good companies that we are probably going to work with them.
Good.
But that was not our goal. Our goal was to make the connection.
right.
Transaction come one day. If comes, it's fine. If it doesn't, it's fine.
Yeah.
We just make a friendship.
Yeah. It'll build off of that.
So I think what we take from this year is that the connections is what matters the most.
Mhm.
And we had so much fun. That was awesome.
That's awesome. Now, y'all were in the booth.
Yep.
There was a YouTube tent there. Did y'all come across any? I'm sure you did, but did you see an influx of last year of folks that watch your channel and coming in
A lot.
and now how explain that when you meet somebody
That we met before already.
that you met before or maybe even met new and what do they say, like, oh, I've been watching your channel, it's so good to finally meet you? Explain that. How does that, are you like, oh my goodness, or is it
We have been to the other side already. So last year we met a lot of channels that we have been following. So we were on the other side of this situation.
right?
So I kind of know what they feel, and it's good because they already know us. So they have a topic to talk about. They
Uh-huh.
know how to communicate. Then it's failing.
Yeah, it's a little bit far.
So they already
That's
know
good.
us. So it's good because they know our personalities, and we kind of have a connection already. I feel that's great, actually.
Yeah,
That's
it's
awesome.
Easier, it's easier to have a conversation when someone already know what you like to talk about
Right.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
how you talk about
Yeah.
Yeah.
and how long you talk. And
Yeah.
if you talk less or you talk more.
Uh-huh.
So you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, it's
So-
a good duo. Yeah.
yeah, and like, it's funny because we met so many people last year. And this year, so many of the ones we met last year, when they show up, I'm like, I know you.
Yeah.
I do remember. And we literally remember, like, straight away. I know
Right.
your face. I know I talked to you. I don't know how. I don't know about what. It's like, of course, not everyone.
Right.
It's just too many people.
Yeah.
But you have a connection already.
Yep.
That's really cool. And as Roberta said, we also been on the other side of the screen.
Yeah.
We watched so many sailing channels
yeah.
even before we had a channel.
Mm-hmm.
And for us, it's the same feeling, like having breakfast with Brian from Dallas every day.
Yeah.
So what the fuck?
That's
like-
that's cool.
That's the responsible for us being here.
Yeah.
That's the responsible for changing our lives, 100%. No, I'm not exaggerating.
Yeah.
Without Dallas, we would not be here.
Yeah.
and we become friends, and that's just awesome. That's do it to come to Annapolis.
Mhm.
If we didn't come to Annapolis, we would never had met him so far.
Yeah.
So and meeting people is it's like it's just great. It's just I don't know. It gives you a sense of reality
Yeah.
because when we are just so far in Brazil that we're just doing our things with a little GoPro, and sometimes it doesn't seem real. We just talk to the camera and that's it.
Yeah.
But when
Until
you see
you
a
actually
face,
see something and meet
Yeah.
them and shake their hand
And
and,
then when you see
see
a l-
the line
Yeah.
of people waiting to
yeah.
talk to you guys.
And then when you see like a little kid that's shaking from meeting you, that's like
yeah,
what the fuck?
they're a
That's
little
so cool.
starstruck.
Yeah.
Well, I'll say this. Last year, a few years ago, I'm in my office downstairs. I'm eating lunch, and I'm on YouTube. And, you know, the algorithm knows what I like to see. I like to see boats. I like to see creative people. I like to see off the grid sort of stuff. And all of a sudden, y'all's boat came up on my thing, and it was like, we just bought a boat or whatever it was. And I click on it.
Yeah.
And that was my first time essentially meeting the two of you. And I saw what y'all were doing. And I'm on the Bacon Sales YouTube, and I think I comment on there. It's like, hey, you know, love what y'all doing. You know, let me know if I can help. And you even like hearted it and said thanks or whatever. I was like, oh, cool. You know, blah blah blah. Time went on, and I saw the progression of the boat come along, and that's what Bacon's does is outfitting new boats, but especially older boats. You know, and bringing them back to life and keeping them on the water. You know, keeping the gear going when it breaks down or when you gotta get new stuff. And so for me, I'm thinking, what they're doing is what I do every day for other boaters, you know, around the world or, you know, just in my own backyard here in Annapolis. And when y'all came to town last year, I didn't know y'all were going to be here.
That's cool.
And then I saw you, this is at the Annapolis Smokehouse. This is like the
I
little
remember.
meetup. I saw you, and I instantly recognized you, and then I looked for you. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's them. and so I was like, I don't want to be, you know, because every time we did a video, I'd go, I'd see it, and you know, whether if it was I watched the whole thing, but I would watch it throughout the week on my lunch break. And you were the first couple I'd say I walked up to, and I was like, hey, you know, I really like your stuff,
Thanks
and
so much.
and it was cool. Now that was a year ago, and now here you are now, and I'm so just
Now we're friends.
Yeah, we're
That's
friends.
the cool thing.
We're friends, and I'm honored to have you all on the podcast.
Yeah, I mean,
you
like
know?
it's so cool when it becomes personal.
Yeah.
It's like there's no YouTube anymore.
Yeah, we
That's
we
like
message each
whatever.
other all year long.
Yeah, that's it.
It's awesome.
Yeah, YouTube. There's nothing. We have nothing to do with YouTube anymore.
Right.
That's just our job. That's
Yeah.
it. But you know, I like when you turn like virtual things into real things.
To a real
Connection.
Yeah,
exactly.
Of course,
real
you cannot do
connection.
that with everyone. It's just impossible.
Yeah.
But the more we can do that, that's one of the reasons why we have a channel.
Yeah.
It's to make friends, and it's
Exactly.
true. Like we would like to travel, but we like to travel and meet friends along the way, and you meet people that actually knows what you're doing and follow you. It's just awesome.
So before the boat, y'all were doing something else. You were doing like some off the grid tiny house stuff a little bit. Explain, how did y'all get into that? Was that just kind of like a, hey, we want to do something a little creative here, or
Nope.
or no?
You want the long story? Or
You know,
Yeah,
long
hey,
story short,
we got time. I know you got dinner tonight later, so it's up to you guys.
to be honest, when I went back to university when I was 27,
Mhm.
and I went to be an engineer. And on the second semester, I started going earlier to university because I was too much traffic. So I didn't want to be stuck on traffic. So I just go and read books. And in 1 year, I read about 15 circumnavigation books. I'm like, that's it, done. I don't want to be an engineer anymore. I just want to build my own boat, and I want to go save the world. That's it.
Yeah.
So why I do that, I keep sending books to Roberta so she can read, and I
And-
can convince her to do the same thing.
and we bought a small boat.
And we bought a small boat to start practicing. So we bought a 19-foot, and then we bought a 26-foot. I didn't give up on the universe because I'm like, I want to do that, but I don't have money. So I'm going to go all the way to the end. I'll work 5 years as an engineer. I'll save money. I'll build a boat, and we leave. That's it.
Yeah.
I finished the degree. I realized that I don't know anything. I cannot be an engineer. I'm not ready to be an engineer. I cannot make money as an engineer. So I decided to start a master degree in structural engineering because I'm like, I like that.
Mhm.
It's not just for money, but I like, and also I can make money out of that. So we moved to Sydney, Australia to do a master degree, 2 years master
Wow.
in structural engineering. I did one semester, and until this point, I was already watching sailing channels for like, I would say 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, it's too late. There's no way we can start a YouTube channel. There are way too many, and there is like, it's not worth.
Yeah.
So then we went to Australia, and all these years that I think we are too late, so many good channels pop up, like Sailing Uma, or there are so many. Like, and I'm like,
yeah.
I guess we are not that late.
Yeah.
I mean, late is not today late. Late is tomorrow, is the day after tomorrow. So after the first semester, I see that I'm not learning anything. I'm like, I done. I quit.
yeah.
And then we moved to Indonesia. That's the cheapest place around Australia to think about life and to decide what do we want to do for life for real. And we bought a ticket to Brazil in 4 months, 120 days. We didn't tell our families, so we don't start having pressure to go back home.
Mm-hmm.
And we went to Indonesia. That's really cheap to don't have pressure from outside and think about what we want to do. So we walk on the beach every day talking about the plans. And when I say talk about the plans, we're 100% open. If you find my job in Japan, I will go to Japan. If you find a job in Europe, we go to Europe. Whatever shows up.
Yeah.
And eventually, a month and a half later, we're like, we're running out of time. We need to make a decision. So we sit in the hotel in Indonesia, in Canggu. And just so you understand, these 120 days, we're not traveling as tourists. We were paying monthly hotel to be half price.
Okay.
So we're eating on the cheapest restaurant you can find. We're just like literally working on our plans.
yeah.
So we go to the room and we draw on a little notebook ideas. Go back to Brazil and work with my dad. I'll have money, but I won't have freedom. Blah, 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 blah. Positive, negative, negative, negative. This other idea, this other one, the other one. Until we're like, fuck that. We're going to start a YouTube channel because I've been doing what I don't want for so long, trying to achieve what I want. And that's not working out. So I need to do what I want to pay for what I want.
Got it.
And when we met, Duca was doing his first try of doing a documentary, like his first try of filming a documentary. So it's been like almost 15 years that he's trying to live out of documentaries.
In 17 years,
17,
2005.
Yeah.
So I took a gap year on my first degree because I graduated in business first when I was 20 years old.
Yeah, that's what I did. Business.
So I took a gap year on the business school and went to live in Europe for a while. And I ended up to visit a guy that a friend of a friend in Morocco that he's a filmmaker for like 30 years. So I went to the film festival of Marrakesh, that's 2005. And I'm like, that's it. I will go back to Brazil and I want to be a filmmaker. That's all. And back then, YouTube didn't even exist.
Yeah.
I wanted to be a filmmaker for film festivals. And
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you already had it in you then. You kind of had a little bit of an itch to...
Oh, yeah. And in between I did business and engineering, I did 1 year of film school.
Very cool.
So, a lot of people look to us as like, oh, that's just another couple that bought a boat and started a channel. That's bullshit. Long before I wanted to travel, I already wanted to make film.
Yeah.
I've been trying to make films for over 17 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's almost 20 years. So it's a long time.
Yeah.
So we went to Australia, to Indonesia. We decided, that's it. We're going to start a YouTube channel. So what are we going to have a channel about? I'm like, I dream on building a boat. So let's do a channel about building a boat. And I'm like, we don't have money. I mean, we had like savings, but not enough.
Right.
To be 100% honest, we had $30,000. You cannot build a boat with $30,000. So I'm going to start something that I rely on the success of the project to go all the way to the end. Doesn't work. So we're like, let's try to create a channel based in seasons to eventually be able to finance a boat with the money from the project. So then we, going all the way back, we create a plan, 5 years plan. I'm honest, we actually create a plan. We wrote down a plan. So we filmed this first trip, 120 days. So we have 19 videos that back then no one would watch about how we created the channel. And we put it like so much love in that, 6 months of work. So you shoot like 4.5 months of weekly videos.
Oh, for sure.
The first video I sent to so many people on Facebook that Facebook blocked me thinking I'm a robot. So so the first video, 1,000 people watched. Second video, I was shy to send to that many people, 700 people watch. Third video, 500. By the end of the 19 videos, 100 people would watch our videos.
Yeah.
It's like nothing. So we worked for a month for editing a video no one watched. And then we got, in the end of these first 6 months, we had 263 subscribers. Good, huh?
And what year is this again? This is
2017.
okay. So it's
2017.
about 5 years ago.
Yeah, so the plan was, we knew this season wouldn't be good. We are not, to be honest, I don't consider we are good at creating travel content.
Mhm.
We are not party people. We're not bikini and boobs people. We are just like simple people.
Right.
So I don't think we're good to start as that. And YouTube, just like any market, there is the demand and the offer. And the offer for traveling videos is just huge.
Mm-hmm.
So that means you need to differentiate yourself in order to pop up.
Right.
So the plan was, let's go back to Brazil. Let's find a free land. We have family. We can find a place to put a shipping container. We want to build a steel boat, right? Or aluminum boat, doesn't, or one or the other.
Edible.
A metal boat.
Yeah.
We don't know nothing about welding, so we need to learn. How do we learn? We build a shipping container house that won't sink. So we buy the ship. We have money to buy a shipping container. We have money to finish a shipping container house. We find a free land. We build a shipping container house. We do weekly videos about that. We manage to grow the channel with that. And then if the channel goes well, we build a boat next to it. If the channel goes kind of well, we can do like a welding and woodwork shop and keep doing videos about that until we grow enough to be able to afford the boat. So that's what we did. We went back to
That's how
Brazil.
it all pieced together.
Yes.
And that's kind of now, did you already have the name Odd Life Crafting for it before? Or did that kind of mix into it?
No, that
once
was like
you-
straight. That was the hotel room in Indonesia. We already
Yeah.
got the logo. I drew the
Yeah.
logo. I was literally drinking a coffee. I put
Yeah.
the coffee on the little note.
I love that name, by the way. Odd Life Crafting.
You know why it's Odd Life Crafting?
No.
Oh, it's better than you think.
Oh, yeah?
So I'm sitting there.
Uh-huh.
I put the coffee. I drew a circle. I drew a boat on the logo that supposedly is not a sailing channel, but there is a sailboat that years later, when we bought this boat, actually looks like the boat we bought by
Yeah.
chance. That was just a coincidence.
Uh-huh.
That was the only boat I could draw. And we're trying to find a name. And there's a crazy story that my dad was an exchange student in the US back 45 years ago.
Uh-huh.
He had a high school friend. This guy went to Brazil the first time when I was 12. He was like an uncle for me. So he
Okay.
would go to Brazil 1, 2, 3 times a year.
Right.
And this is the guy that I learned how to speak English with. This is the first camera I used because he would bring nice cameras to Brazil when no one had nice cameras in Brazil. And when I was 21, I guess, or 20, on my first summer of college, I went to do an internship on his company in Pennsylvania.
Oh, yeah, right up north.
Yeah, so I worked in Eastern Pennsylvania in a company that makes just like these arms
Uh-huh.
to hold LCD monitors when they just came up. So
Got
the company used to do for like NASA, New York Stock Exchange, for IBM, for Apple. So it's like a big company.
Uh-huh.
So for a period of 10 years, this guy that was pretty rich, he had like a big house, no family, no kids. He, for 10 years, had Brazilians working as interns on his company and living on his house. So I was one of them, and we know of them. So it's like he call his kids. So it's my cousin, my brother's friend, my brother's friend's friend. So everyone knows each other. And this guy, I think like 10 or 12 years ago, he did a stomach surgery, reduction, and he thought he could die, so he did a last will. But he didn't tell anyone. And he didn't die. 6 years later, he died out of a heart condition, sleeping.
Oh, shoot.
And then we find he was 53.
Yeah.
So we find out that all 18 Brazilians were on his last will. And this guy paid for 70% of the purchase of the boat we own now.
No kidding.
And his name was Odd.
Ah.
So
Oh.
when we started the channel, we didn't know how much we would get from him,
Mm-hmm.
but we knew we had some money coming. Could be $1,000, could be $100,000.
Yeah.
We had no idea. But like, he's our first sponsor, so
Right.
let's name Odd.
Here's to Odd.
Just Odd.
Here's to Odd.
Yeah.
That's so good. Very cool. That's good on y'all for that name. That's really cool.
Yeah, so like, he's our first sponsor. He, like,
Mhm.
he would be so proud. He would love to see that. So I'm
Yeah.
like,
And we got the money when we were like 75% of finishing the house. And we found this boat that we have right now.
Uh-huh.
So the money came, we didn't finish the house. We decided to, like, let's refit the boat. And then we bring the boat to our city. We finish the house, living in the boat.
Yeah.
And move to the boat and sail around. And we have a house inland in our hometown.
And
You don't work like that.
and I love y'all's boat. It is so. And a little backstory on it. It's a one-off boat. It's a.
No, actually not.
It's just there's.
There are like
more.
15 of those.
Really?
Yes.
Oh,
That's the
okay.
crazy thing. Now I just changed
No
it.
kidding.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
my
a great
gosh.
story.
So there's more than one.
Yes.
Yes.
We know I've been inside one exactly the same. Even the furniture is exactly
Really?
the same. It seems like we are in my boat.
I think there are 4 that's identical to ours.
And what's is there a design name of it?
Yes.
Well-
Yeah. So the story behind is simple. Is there was a company in Brazil back in the. Actually, they still exist until now, but they're not a boatyard. So who built our boat is not a boatyard.
Got it.
So they used to build, punching machines. When you go to work, you punch. Yeah?
Yes. Yep.
So they used to build punching machines.
Yep.
And somehow the owner was from Portugal, and the owner that's in São Paulo, Brazil. So the owner in the 80s, I don't know why he decided that he had like free time of his employees. He had the machinery, he had the space, so he wanted to build some boats. He was smart enough not to try to design a boat, because build a boat is one thing, designing a boat is a different thing.
Correct.
So he goes to France to a boatyard called Meta. Have you heard of Meta?
I may have.
Yeah, so
May
Meta,
have.
1, Damon 2.
Damon 1, Damon 2, from the first boat to sleep a whole year in Antarctica, to stay 1 year in Antarctica.
Yeah.
The one with
Okay.
a little hatch with like a little ball. And
Right.
So
Right.
they built these boats for Antarctica back 50 years ago.
The designers are Gilbert and Nivelt.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're really famous designers.
Gilbert and Nouvelle.
Yeah.
Something
All
like
right.
that. French,
Okay.
French guys.
So they do like Beneteau, Genot,
Yeah,
and they work
yeah.
for Meta for a long time. So when
Okay.
they went to Meta and bought and hired them to make 4 different models, actually. So they used to have the 32, 38, 44, and 50,
Mm-hmm.
both aluminum or steel. And they actually built this boat in series. Like they would go to boat shows, have like their booth
Portfolio.
on the boat shows, and they would open up like
Yeah.
So it was like I never seen a metal boat built in series like that.
That's
I
so
still
cool. Now, which one is y'all's, aluminum or steel?
Steel.
Steel. Okay.
Yeah.
Ours
So
is the last one that they built. The owner built for his son that was graduating in architecture.
architecture, yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, so basically it was built for the son of the owner of the boatyard. And it was the last boat they built.
Okay.
So it was the one that they fixed everything you can imagine. So it's like so well built.
Yeah. That's really okay. That's interesting. So the name Odd comes from we found that out, and there's more than one of those boats that I thought there was only one of, but the whole layout of the boat I really like. I think it's a really cool boat.
Yeah.
Just for like cruising,
Yep.
space wise, where things are placed and hatches and storage, and it kind of that's the cool thing about
And it feel like a
sailing.
boat. And it feel like a boat. It's like an
Yeah.
old boat, like wooden boat inside.
Now, how does it sail?
Sails good.
Sails good. Yeah.
I mean, you need wind. It's a
Yeah.
heavy boat.
Right.
You have a metal boat. You need a lot of wind.
Yep.
But it's a really stable boat. And
Yeah.
it's a centerboard boat, so it can dry out. I like that.
Yeah.
It's a center cockpit
It's
as
a center
well.
cockpit, so it doesn't move. The movement, like the motion of the cockpit is really good because you're in the center of the boat. So
Okay.
I think it's a really cool boat. It's a really different boat. You can tell it's a French boat.
Yeah.
You just see the seats of the cockpit. It's like, that's a French boat. You can see
Yeah.
from far away.
The cockpit's the only thing that we would change if we could because it's quite small.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for longer passages, it's
Yeah,
quite small.
The problem is that there is not such thing as perfect boat,
Yeah.
and there is good boats for different purpose. And
Yeah.
these boats meant for Antarctica, basically. It's meant
Yeah.
for cold weather. So cold weather, you won't stay outside. You stay inside.
Got it.
You do mistakes, but I like I like this mistake. It's inside the boat, we feel like at home,
Oh, yeah.
100%. We live full time on the boat. We have nothing outside of the boat, so it's like our office, our fun place,
There
our
are some days
house.
that we don't even go outside.
Sometimes we spend like 3 days, literally, not even the head outside, just like
Yeah.
full
Yeah.
3 days inside the boat.
That's cruising life, and liveaboard lifestyle. You get some of those gloomy days. It's nice to have a nice
But
thing.
we have friends that they never ate inside the boat. They always eat outside of the boat, and
We never ate outside.
Yeah.
We have a huge
Yeah.
table.
Yeah.
We're like,
Yeah. Why? Yeah.
I like inside.
So, where's the boat right now?
So since Anápolis last year, we sailed the entire Brazilian coast from south to north. And right now we are on the northeast corner of Brazil in a place called Recife. And potentially that's our last port in Brazil. We're waiting for the season in the Caribbean to start. So we probably cross the Caribbean in first week of December. That's a month and a half from now.
Yeah.
And we didn't decide yet. We can do straight. That would be like 2,300 nautical miles straight from where we are to Grenada. That would be an awesome sail. It's like downwind sail with waves in favor and current in favor.
Yeah.
Or we can do 2 stops along the way. We might do that. I'm not sure. So if we do 2 stops, it would be like a, I don't know, 8-day sails to the north of Brazil. 1 more stop. In the middle of nowhere. We would probably already check out where we are because we're just going to pretend I don't know, something broke, we need to stop because there's no way to check out in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, yeah.
And then from there, we would go to Suriname probably and then to Grenada. But we are not sure. One day we wake up and be like, no, it's straight. Next day we're like, no, I think we should stop. And I don't know. I think we're going to leave the port. And after 5 days, we decide.
Okay.
Are we enjoying?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Well, that's how a lot of trips are made up is how's it going? Are the winds in our favor?
Yeah.
And sometimes it's like, hey, if I can throw up a big spinnaker and just cruise on that for a few days and sit back, it's like, hey, honey, we're getting there a little bit faster than we thought we did.
Yeah.
Or, though, it's the opposite way. And you really don't know until maybe weeks to come.
Yeah.
And you can look at the trade winds. You can look at the way the currents are actually truly moving and figure it out essentially as you go around. But that's the...
Yeah, this place supposedly is like going to be so good. That's going to be a fucking good crossing.
Yeah, it's a fun run. Yeah. No, you're good.
Yeah, so...
Damn it, fuck shit.
Yeah, so basically, it's funny. When we were talking about buying this boat, right, it took a week until we got the owner to go to the boatyard. We were just sitting there and waiting. And I realized that the boat we were trying to buy is the same boat of my favorite book from the 15 that I read.
Oh, cool.
So I go back to read the book. I'm like, I'm just going to learn more about the boat.
Yeah.
And when I open up the cover, I gave that to Roberta 7 years ago, saying one day we're going to travel around the world with a boat called Odd.
We like the name. We didn't know.
We had no channel. There was nothing. I was like, what?
So sometimes the stars align.
Yeah, so basically this boat is the same as the one that I really liked.
Oh my
And on the book, I think it was on this book that they said that this crossing that we're going to do, they did 15 days of not touching the rudder or the wind vane.
Yeah.
15 days just like not touching anything, just like
just on a leg.
One leg.
That's
so supposedly this is a really cool crossing. Of course, a few squalls here and there, but
your boat will handle it. It's definitely a seaworthy looking boat. That's heavy, can take the waves. That's those are the kind of boats that I like.
We can't wait. Yeah, I mean like nothing against fiberglass boats, but I think it would be hard for us to go back to a fiberglass boat.
Mm-hmm.
Don't take my word on that. Maybe one day we'll have a fiberglass boat. But I feel so confident with our true hulls that are standing pipes. And with the hull that 2 weeks ago we hit a reef.
Mm-hmm.
Literally.
Yeah.
We run into a reef. Like we felt the stern like popping.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing happened. Like a little scratch on the paint.
I'm pretty sure the whale hit us as well.
It was like just a little scratch. Nothing happened.
Yeah.
Because it's just a tank.
Yeah. That's
I
really
mean, this
cool.
is low. We know like low wind, everyone is sailing much faster than we are. But when it comes strong wind, I feel much more confident.
Yeah.
It doesn't heal that much as well.
How long do you all plan on staying in the Caribbean?
Should we be honest?
What are you thinking? Plans, or is it kind of like, hey, we might hang out there for a while?
No, it's even weird. Man, we're just opening up too much today. Yeah, I feel open.
It's okay. It's okay.
No, these are things that we never mention, not even on our channel.
Yeah. Yeah, you can say
not even
people,
for our patrons.
Not even for our patrons, to be honest.
Yeah, well, I'm going to give the exact location right here so you know where to find these two, and ask them for dinner every night.
Yeah, so basically, for us Brazilians, I see two big steps, leap of faith.
Yeah.
One is crossing to the Caribbean.
Yeah, that's step one.
That's
Take
step
care
one.
of that first.
Yeah, because for Americans, for example, they go to Bahamas and go back really easy.
Yeah.
So it's nothing.
Yeah, it's a
Just-
few days.
and people's like, no, just go to the Caribbean, whatever.
From
But
here, yeah.
for us,
23,000 nautical miles.
and
Yeah.
it's a one-way lane.
Right.
To come back on the same way, it's really hard.
Difficult.
So that means you need to go to Europe and come back. So money-wise, our lives in a month and a half from now, we're going to start spending 5 times more than we spend now.
Right.
So it's a huge step for us.
Yeah.
The second huge step is to go to the Pacific, another one-lane road. You go to the Pacific, that's it. You're going to circumnavigate.
Yep.
There are ways back. There are, but really hard ones.
Mm-hmm.
So the big decision is Caribbean. We are certain we're going to go to Caribbean in a month and a half. That's it. We have crew arriving already with tickets bought to Brazil. That's it. There is no way back. But what we don't know yet, because a lot of people think that we worked so hard on our boat that we are never going to sell this boat, and that not necessarily is true. Maybe after 2 years living on the boat, that is going to be the end of the season of the Caribbean, we want to make the decision. Is this the right boat that we want to go to the Pacific? Yes or no? If it is, fine. We just go to the Panama. We spend a season fixing the boat in Panama, and we prepare the boat and go to the Pacific. That's one outcome. But if we decide, no, we don't feel like that's the boat to go to the Caribbean, to the Pacific, I think we would cross the Atlantic, go to Europe, and maybe building a new boat from scratch in Europe.
Yeah.
That's just a thought.
His dream since the beginning.
Yeah.
Is there any design or model that you would essentially try to go for?
Metal boat.
I want, yeah, I really want a metal boat,
Yeah.
to be honest.
I don't blame you. Yeah. Yeah.
An aluminum boat, probably.
Uh-huh.
I mean, nowadays it's hard to find like steel boats.
Yeah.
And the problem is that we have such a good steel boat that I don't know if I can have any other steel boat. Our boat was galvanized inside and out.
Wow.
There's no rust anywhere.
Wow.
It's not like it's not a rusty metal boat. Our boat, like, there is no rust.
That's awesome.
So I don't know if I could.
That's a rarity.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, if it's to have a steel boat, I'll keep with the one we have.
Uh-huh.
If we build another one, I think it would be aluminum.
Okay.
I never thought I would think about a catamaran, but I seen some tanks, like some, exploration catamarans.
Yeah, well, if you go down to like say like Mexico or Cancun,
Yeah.
all the catamarans down there are aluminum.
Yeah.
Like those, snorkeling boats,
Yeah.
party boats and head boats. They put 50 people on the boat and they take
Yep.
you out snorkeling. Those are aluminum, and they're built to go out every day with 50 people on the
Yep.
boat and deal with all kinds of people falling, tripping, drunk, and
Yep.
and that's you don't see fiberglass boats doing them,
Yeah.
you
So
know?
I don't know. I would.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would have a fiberglass catamaran. To be honest, nothing against.
Mhm.
A lot of people have it. It's fine.
But
Right.
in our case, I think that
You have a preference.
in our case, we feel like first the cockpit. We are thinking it's smaller than we would imagine. For like 2 days, 3 days is quite exhausting to be there all the time, and we don't have space. Like Duca wanted to buy a bigger surfboard. We don't
Uh-huh.
have where to put it.
Right.
So
Toys around.
we are receiving one person to come to go with us to the Caribbean, but we were planning on inviting one more. But maybe it's too much for our boat. We would love it, but maybe it's too much.
No, the thing is, I think if you ask me what was the best thing we did this year cruising full time on the Brazilian coast, was not visiting places, was meeting people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the most important thing in life is to share happiness with other people. And we wish we had more space to travel with more people on
Yeah.
board and to share the experience with other persons. So I think that's why sometimes a catamaran would be good, because we could have more opportunities to share space with people and have more. I kite surf, so I want
Mhm.
to have more surfboards, and I want to have a wing and a foil, and that's. I think that's opens up a lot of opportunities. And I'm not saying we're going to build a catamaran. I'm saying we are open for everything.
Yeah. Open for suggestions,
Yes.
options,
100%.
and whatever maybe after this that main trip might give you a better idea of what
100%.
you're thinking.
One
Yeah.
of the ideas is to go to Europe and
Yeah.
to sail with friends in different boats and try
Yeah.
out other
Oh,
boats.
that's a great thing about the Annapolis sailboat show and any boat show. you get to kind of see what's out there.
Yep.
And when you go to Europe and you go to the Med, that's a whole different. There's boats over there.
Yeah, we're gonna go next month.
Yeah, that's gonna be a fun trip.
Yeah, for sure.
Expensive but fun.
Don't tell me. Today was expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just. By the way, we just got the ticket. No one. It's an inside joke. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Oh yeah.
Yeah, but we're just going to Amsterdam boat show next month.
Yeah.
Us in other channels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it was so much fun here that we decided to extend the
Yeah.
party.
Yeah.
Europe.
I was telling Dave and Mary earlier today about it. I've never been to Metz. We've been invited a few times to, display there and whatnot. It's a hike getting a crew over there and all that when we have it right here in our backyard for Annapolis, But when I look at the videos and the magazines and I see the images of this and I see how one vendor might have 3,000 square feet of space to display their products, and the products might not even be coming out for 2 to 3 years. It's prototypes. You get prototypes of what they're going to be working on and stuff that's going to be released, and so you really are seeing stuff before it hits the magazines, before it goes to the brand new boats.
Yep.
You're seeing stuff that everybody who's really anybody in the tech and the design and for yachting and individual, they're going there not only to display their own stuff, but to check out what the competition has
for sure.
as well. And so it's it's going to definitely be interesting for you all to check it out.
Yeah, we are like really curious, to be honest.
And you're going to go with some pretty cool people to meet up with.
Oh, yeah.
And that's great. And again, we go back to the sailing community and meeting people that, 2 years ago you didn't even know.
Oh, yeah.
And now it's like, oh, thank goodness I have good friends to hang out with while I'm over there.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to stay in a house with a lot of people that we were here the whole week.
You're staying with right now.
Yeah, we were staying around. I'm like, no, let's extend this. Let's go to Europe next month. It's like, sure, I don't know if I can afford, but I can.
Right.
I'll find a way because I think it's worth the effort to actually be in these places.
And actually, we are looking for, because there are some companies that we work already. We have good partnership, and we are gonna meet them in person
For the first time.
finally. Like,
That's awesome.
After 3 years,
Yeah, our first ever sponsor, by the way, thanks to Zentrax. They're awesome.
Yeah.
They are the only ones that believe in us when we bought the boat. On the first week we bought the boat.
Oh, wow.
It's a crazy story. It's like,
Yeah,
so
Xantrax
good.
makes some good stuff.
Yeah, but I was lucky somehow. We were like, when we bought the boat, the former owner, we took 3 hours showing everything on the boat to us, and he comes to this Freedom 10 or something. That's the old Zentrax inverter charger from 30 years ago.
Yeah.
So he's like
Freedom Interfaces, I believe. Yeah.
So he's like, this is so good because this blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I had no idea. I didn't even know Zentrax. And I'm like, whoa, hope this is working, right? So then I hire an electrician because back then I had no idea what I was doing. And to test what's working, what's not. And he's like, no, this is not working. I'm like, fuck, why not? So I'm like, I would try to contact the company and ask if it's worth to fix, if they have the parts to fix, or if they think we should buy a new one. So I emailed, I found on Google, if you want to talk to marketing from Zentrax, you email this guy. So I email him, and I'm like, hey, I'm Duca. I bought a abandoned boat, blah, 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 blah. Do you think it's worth fixing? If it is, do you want to partner with us so we can have the parts, or you think it's worth to get a new one? And he's like, right away, do you want to do a video call tomorrow? Like, I have nothing to lose. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So this guy is actually from India, but he lives in Canada, and he works for Zentrax. Nowadays, he's the VC president of marketing, VP of marketing for the main company, not just Zentrax, for the owner of Zentrax that owns a lot of companies. And I have something that I don't know what it is. If you know, explain me. But I never met an Indian person that don't like me. We have a connection. I don't know why.
Yeah.
We are similar. I don't know. We just have a connection. And we connected right away.
That's awesome.
And we've been friends ever since. And we talk all the time. I call him on telephone. We are like partners, like really close partners for 3 years. But we never met him in person. And he's
so
going
you're
to
going to meet him at
One of the reasons why we're going to go is because we want to meet him.
Oh, that's so cool.
So it's
Yeah.
I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, dinner's on him. Right?
Yeah, one day. Yeah. No, he invited us to dinner already. I hope so.
And the other cool thing is that we are going with other channels. So we are
Yeah.
gonna introduce them to other channels, and it's gonna be like a mix of partnerships.
Yeah,
Really cool.
I believe on everyone growing together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I strongly believe that, you know, like we can be all friends and, you know, like,
And I 100% believe that. You know, we sit around and we chat boats and we talk boats, and at the same time we're all trying to grow something. But as long it's natural that whenever you include everyone,
yeah,
whenever everyone's included in the conversation, whether if they're, you know, way up, you know, La Vagabond or Delos or you know, Colin McRae, or if you know, you just, hey, I started a YouTube channel 6 months ago, and as long as everybody's included in the conversation of sailing, cruising, getting together, hanging out, talking boats, helping each other out when you're in port, and you know, like when Colin was helping out Dave with his boat down in what's that down, was that Linton Bay or something like that,
or when Colin let us crash on his boat for 15 days to do quarantine to come to boat show last year.
I didn't know about that. That's badass.
Yeah, we did quarantine last year on his boat for 15 days.
No kidding.
Yeah, we
That's
needed
awesome.
to stay somewhere in Panama.
Yeah,
And
okay.
it was like
We never met him before.
Tell the whole story since the beginning.
Yeah, Colin, somehow he changed our lives.
Yeah.
Somehow Jeff got mixed up with the information of the channels that were going to go. And he thought we were going to go, but we were not going to go. And then we always wanted to come to Annapolis, even like 3-4 years ago. We always dreamed of coming to the boat show, but we never managed. We didn't have the money to come, and we didn't have the time. And then Colin, 16 days before the show, he do a stories on Instagram. Oh, hey, I'm going to be in Annapolis in 16 days with this, and this channel. And he posted us. And I'm like, what? We're not going to go. I mean, like, if he said we're going to go, we might just
maybe
go,
we
you
go,
know?
yeah.
So I'm like, he knows we exist. He wrote our name there. So I DM him. That was Sunday. Hey, Colin, I'm Duca from Wildlife Crafting. We want to go to the boat show, but we need to do quarantine somewhere. And I heard that we can do quarantine in Panama. Can we go spend 15 days with you and help on your refit? We also have a refit channel. I think it would be really cool. We would learn a lot about fiberglass that we don't have much experience because we have a metal boat, blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
And he answered in like, I don't know, 2-3 hours. Let's do a video call. So we call him Sunday. Oh, no. In the end of the message, say, we want to do quarantine on your boat, but if we can you please answer today because we need to arrive tomorrow?
Yeah.
You know, like I sent a message today. It's like, hey, answer to that. Tomorrow I'm going to arrive. So we do a video call. And he's like, 1.5 minutes, 3 minutes. And he's like, yeah, sure. Come on over. So next day we're in Panama already on his boat. And not just we are on his boat, we are part of a family. Like we are actually, we feel connected to his project. We feel connected to him. So we just enjoy 15 days together and came to the boat show together after. That was pretty cool.
That's so cool.
And if we didn't stay on his boat, we would not have come last year. We would not be here today. So
it all works out.
And I gave him a tattoo
3
days ago.
Oh, yeah. What did he get? What did he get? Because you got the PR.
Yep.
And what did he get?
Yeah, they had a bet.
Yeah, the PR was a bet. That's it. He won a
so
bet.
for everybody who's listening that doesn't know about this bet, the Young Cruises Association put on a really cool event Friday night.
Yeah.
It was like an award ceremony.
I didn't like it. I hate it. I lost.
They had best Instagram, best TikTok, best clip, best photo. There's about a dozen of them, I'd say, with the people, with the judges that were doing them are really acclaimed, nominated, directors and people who are National Geographic and athletes. And so, and the guy who was even doing the voiceover, he was the Amazon guy. I was like, I know that voice from somewhere. And he was like, he started, I was like, oh, that's what it is. But yeah, that was a really cool event that, we helped sponsor. And I was like, when Jeff brought it up to me and Logan brought it up to me, I was like, yeah, I'm in. It's so cool that we're doing this, but we're bringing recognition to the new generation of media, which is you don't have to go essentially through anyone but yourself to promote yourself, and I really like that. But anyways, So there was a it was best YouTube channel, right?
Yep.
And there was three, and there was the two of you were there. This is Parley Revival and Odd Life, and whoever lost had to get the other name tattooed
By the person.
by the
not by
person.
the two artists.
And so Friday night, sitting out back on a round table, all of a sudden Duca's over here lifting up his leg, and Colin McRae has a tattoo gun. And at first, when he wrote the big P, I was like, "Oh my god!"
No,
Then he
no.
erased it, and yeah, I think it came out pretty cool. You know,
I'm a man of my words.
yeah, that's
It-
respectable.
If I said I'm on the bet, I'm on the bet.
Yeah,
It's not fair to
Yeah.
lose and not let him tattoo.
yeah,
But
But-
Sunday morning.
yeah.
But I gave something in exchange
Uh-huh.
because before the bet even, I think like 2 weeks ago he did a post on Instagram showing his tattoos,
Okay.
and I'm like, hey man, I need to tattoo you. I've been tattooing for like 10 months.
Uh-huh.
I did like 20 tattoos already. I'm your friend. You help me one day. I want to give you a gift. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah. Something you'll remember me by.
Yeah, that's what he didn't understand. I think by now he did already. I'm pretty sure. But he let me tattoo. I don't know if you know, but he got struck by lightning twice.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So he might
Yeah.
get the third time. So I'm like, just to make sure, we tattoo a hand holding a lightning.
Yeah, that's the one that you showed me.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
Yeah, so I tattooed that on his leg, on
And
his
and
thigh.
put the odd right on there.
Yeah, so
Yes.
at first he didn't believe was going to be good.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's a perfect tattoo, but it's okay. It was a good job actually. I'm proud.
Yeah.
And by the middle of the session, he was like, "Oh, actually, it's not bad."
Uh-huh.
And he's like, "Yeah, you can sign." So I write odd on him on inside the lightning.
Yeah.
But the problem is that he has no tattoos on his thigh, right? I do have like 4. I know that every single time I sit on the toilet, I look at my tattoos. He's gonna fucking remember me for his whole life.
Oh my goodness. That is so cool. Let's see if I can put this up here.
It's part of the tattoo. It's not the-
So it's been 3 days. It's been 3 days, I think. By now, he realized that every time he sits on the toilet, he's gonna remember of me.
Yeah. That is so
If he knew
cool.
that, I don't think he would let me do that.
Not bad, right?
That came out good.
Okay, right?
I mean,
Not professional, but
that's really cool. Now, all right, this whole tattoo thing. Let's see. We had Taylor here tattooing Allie from Breaking Waves.
yeah.
And if I recall, y'all were doing. There's a photo of Colin and Duca. Is that before or after the tattoo?
After.
That's
Yeah.
after.
Showing their tattoos.
Oh, that's great. Oh man, that's instant classic right there. Now, is this a little tattoo venture that you and Taylor are getting in?
Yeah,
doing
we were
here?
opening up shop together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now-
basically.
now-
It's our side business.
Yeah, was this something on the boat tattoo? You had a little funny name for it last time.
Yeah, do you know the story on how I did tattoo for the first time?
Mm-mm. Well, I think you told me.
Yeah, there are two. It's the same story. Is how I start tattooing and how we fucked with our channel
Yes.
on the same day.
Yeah, and viewers are doing
Yeah.
this. Yeah. Maybe there's some sailors out there that are afraid of needles.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, basically we went to the U.S. We came to the U.S. in December to record a commercial. One of our subscribers invited us to be on the commercial for his company. It's a big thing, like a big TV commercial for the U.S., for Europe, or whatever. And was, a really cool opportunity to be in a different kind of production. It was like a really big production, like
Yeah.
$1 million a day shoot.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like 50 people involved in the production
Oh my.
for 5 seconds. And insane.
Yeah.
And we were like having the best trip. Like we were having so much fun, eating so much good food in Florida. And we decided we wanted to visit a company that we've been working with in South Carolina. And we just rent a car. Let's drive to South Carolina. And we find out that Taylor is in Stuart, Florida. That's like somewhere in between our trip. And that Jeff and Ryan that put together the YouTube booth here at the show, they
Yeah.
were there for the weekend.
Mhm.
We're like, oh, we're going to visit them.
Yeah.
We didn't have a chance last year to hang out with Taylor much, But she's a cool girl.
Everybody's busy.
Yeah,
They were
everyone's
busy
busy.
shit last year.
And I think it was a good opportunity to, get to know her better and to visit our friends. So we went to visit them. And like, I don't know, half an hour in, right when we arrive, I'm talking to Ryan. Robert is talking to Kiki, that is Taylor's boyfriend.
Yep. He's a
And
real cool guy.
He's a really cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's the guy that changed our lives a lot this year. A lot. I mean, So I'll keep going. So, so basically, I hear Roberta asking him, "Oh, cool tattoos in your leg, different,
Yeah.
And he's like, "No, this is my friend's leg." And she was like, "What do you mean?" "No, I let my friends tattoo this leg." And I look back like, "What did you just say?" "No, I let my friends tattoo this leg." I'm like, "How does that work?" "No, I have a tattoo machine on my boat." I'm like, "Where is your boat?" It's like, "No, just around the corner on the mooring boat." Like, "Oh, okay. I just met you right now, but we can be considered friends, right?" "Sure." I'm like, "Can I tattoo you then?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "What? Are you serious?" It's like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
"But what do you want?" "Whatever you want to tattoo." I'm like, are you crazy?" No, you can tattoo whatever." And I'm like, "Can I tattoo the logo of our channel?" He never watched our channel before. He didn't even know we exist.
Wow.
And he was like, "Yeah, sure." So this was too late. We need to drive to another city. We had a hotel in another city. We're like, "Yeah, we are going to travel for 3 days. And on the way back to Florida, we're going to stop to do a tattoo night." So we came back Sunday. We go to his boat. And I get a sticker of our channel, put next to his leg, and tattoo him without any stencil or marker or anything. Straight on the skin, just machine.
Mm-hmm.
I never touched a machine before. I don't know how to draw well. My hands are a little bit shaky. I didn't know back then, but I needed to use glasses.
Uh-huh.
I do have glasses now for
Yeah,
tattooing.
I saw him. You look very smart when
Yeah.
you're doing them now.
Really serious. So basically, he let me tattoo him for the first time in exchange. You know Brian from Young Cruisers?
Yes.
So they own a boat together. And we were at their boats. And then before he was going to start, he's like, "That's not fair. He's going to let you tattoo your logo on him. You need to let him tattoo our logo on you."
Ah.
The logo from the boat, not the channel, the boat.
Yep.
And I look like his boat's called Lost. I'm like, "Yeah, the name's cool.
Yeah.
If I let you do that, I have free pass on your boat anywhere you are." So they have like 47-foot catamaran.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I mean, that's like the entry fee to the club. It's like,
Yeah.
hey, I got it right here.
I mean, I have a tattoo. So
Yeah.
I let him tattoo me so I could see him tattooing me and I could learn before I do his tattoo.
Right.
And while we do all that, Taylor is drunk, sleeping on the couch. So we finish both tattoos and you like, "Taylor, it's your turn." And she wakes up like kind of drunk still. "Okay, give him the machine."
Yeah.
So she also do her first tattoo
Oh
on that night.
wow.
She never tattooed before too.
So both of y'all did.
On the same night, the first tattoo.
Oh my goodness.
And ever since, and after these days, I'm like, "That's it. I'm buying a studio."
Yeah.
So next morning, we drive to Miami and we buy a whole tattoo studio. Literally, everything you need to have a studio.
Right.
And we put it in a bag and we take home. And ever since, every now and then I do tattoos. So I done like, I would say 23 maybe until now.
Now, Ro, will you let him do a tattoo on you?
No.
No
No
tattoos for
tattoos.
you?
No.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
like,
don't feel like until now I don't have any design that I would like to have.
Right. Yeah.
I think tattoo is something really personal.
Yeah.
You cannot pressure anyone to get a tattoo.
Sure.
Whenever you feel like you get it. I mean,
Yeah.
we have it, the machine is there.
Yeah.
Whenever you feel like, you do it. And that's good because whenever I feel like having a tattoo, I get the machine and tattoo myself. That's
Yeah.
it.
Right. Now, are you righty or lefty?
I'm right.
Right. So what happens if you want it right here?
No, okay. I cannot even, not even on
Because you need
because
to
you need to
s-
stretch. I need
Yeah.
both hands to tattoo.
Okay.
Or I
Oh,
need to
yeah.
ask someone to stretch for me. It's
Yeah.
possible. Like someone stretch and I tattoo.
Got it. Okay.
But my legs are my real estate.
Yeah.
So no one,
that's
no
it.
one tattoo my legs anymore, just myself.
Uh-huh.
Basically, that's
So
That's your canvas, and you only
Yeah.
have so much of it.
yeah. By the way, if anyone wants to follow me, I have a new YouTube sailing. A
Uh-oh.
new channel actually.
What
Not
is it? What's the
sailing,
name of this?
Floating Tattoo Studio.
That's what it was. Floating Tattoo Studio.
I have one short only for now.
Okay.
I need to have more time, but I will eventually have a tattoo channel.
Yeah, you did. Tucker, was that his name?
Yeah,
Yeah, I did
Yeah.
Tucker. Yeah, I did a little anchor on Tucker.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
We
Yeah.
did he did. I say we because we have a shop together.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, she's
Oh,
the
yeah.
manager,
Oh,
she's
you're
the
part of
manager.
it. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
it's
gotta,
funny.
You got to deal with it.
When we talk about tattoos, she always say no because we did that one, but
Yeah, we
I'm the
didn't
one
do
that too. But
anything.
we consider that we did.
So Brittany, that's at Collins Boat right now. She's a filmmaker for Collins. She went to the house last night,
2 nights ago.
2 nights ago, and got a tattoo.
Oh, that's so cool.
She drove a Uber all the way to the house because she wanted to get a tattoo. See,
Yeah.
getting there is business.
How well could you do that logo?
Ooh,
It's
that's
complicated.
Maybe
right?
maybe next year.
maybe next year.
Practicing the whole year.
Yeah, I think who is good to do that? You know who is?
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth.
Oh yeah.
They from England. That's here. She is a great artist. She do like watercolors
Okay.
and like watercolor mix with like pen.
Yeah.
And she's gonna tattoo. She was gonna tattoo me 2 days ago, but she was not feeling well, and I
Oh,
want her
wow.
to be really concentrated.
Right.
And next month when we go to Amsterdam, she's gonna be there, and she's gonna tattoo a pirate ship on me.
No
And she
kidding.
never tattooed on her life. It's gonna be her first.
Let's
That's
see how
cool.
it's gonna end up.
Yeah, my buddy Matt, who was here the other night.
Your best friend?
Yeah, we met him.
Yeah,
He's a
yeah.
cool guy.
He had all the tattoos.
We met him later, like 2 days ago, I think. We met him somewhere.
Yeah, he's a real cool dude. He's
Yeah.
got a Columbia 36 that, when I say 100% refit,
Yeah,
there was not a bolt on that boat that wasn't removed. Completely
Yeah.
redesigned the keel, re-cored the boat,
Yep.
new everything, and now they got it down at the same marina I keep, the Egg Harbor. And that's essentially how I met Matt. I was sitting there grinding underneath one time. And he's sitting there with a cigarette and like, "You sure you know what you're doing there, bud?" I'm like, "Man, who's this guy?" But that's just kind of his attitude. But he has a really good tattoo artist.
Yep.
If you look at
Yeah, I saw his
who's
tattoos,
done his
yeah, yeah.
work. Yeah. So eventually, because I got MDB, that's Marilyn Dixie Bacon, the original owner of this place, my
Yeah.
great aunt. Eventually, I'm gonna get this skipjack put ingrained in that
I
somehow.
will tell you what. I'll go to Amsterdam next month.
Yeah.
I'll let Elizabeth tattoo me,
Uh-huh.
and she'll learn on me. And next year she'll come and tattoo you because she's good at
Okay.
old boats.
All right. Yeah. And I'll probably get this diamond.
Yeah,
It probably won't do the wording and,
Yeah.
and all that.
Yep.
I'll probably just get a diamond and like a 3-strand rope.
yeah.
Go around, something like that. Maybe like a torn
Yep.
looking flag
That's
looking
pretty
thing.
cool.
That's why I've kind of had idea wise
Yep.
for years. I've wanted
Yep.
to finish that up, but
Yeah, the cool thing of having that machine is that you don't need to think much.
yeah,
We're sitting there with friends like, oh, let's have a tattoo. Oh, let's do it now.
yeah.
We don't need to make an appointment
Yeah,
or
right.
anything.
No stress. Oh, I got a tattoo tomorrow. Oh,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah. No.
It's just like
it's just like, yeah.
Yeah.
And also,
there were people here that I think were like they were game to get tattooed tonight.
Yeah.
If we had all night to do
Yeah,
it, but you had a tattoo to do the next morning at 9
yeah,
a.m.
calling, yeah.
Calling.
Yeah. The thing is, to be honest, like, a lot of people are like, oh, I'm not gonna be a guinea pig, and people believe that no one will get a tattoo with someone that has not much experience. And to be
Yeah.
honest, I need to say more no's than yes.
Yeah.
You would be amazed of how many people actually want to get a tattoo from someone that never done just because it's free.
My first 2 tattoos were guinea pig in my buddy's basement. This one
Yeah.
and that one.
Yeah.
Back-to-back nights.
Oh, man.
I was 19 years old. That was a good time, but they came out good. Well,
Yeah.
this one was only supposed to last 6 months. That was 13 years ago. So and then this one, he did a pretty good job on it, and
Yeah. The truth is, like, I don't make money with that. I spend money on that.
Yeah. But
It
you're-
costs me to tattoo everyone this
you
week.
got
It's like,
this sweater
Oh, yeah, I
from
got
You're
Oh,
Collins.
sweatshirt from
building
Columbia.
your craft on it. Eventually,
no,
one
but
day.
I mean, like, as I'm not making money, I can choose my clients.
yeah.
I just tattoo what I want on who I want.
I see. You know what's going to happen? You're going to get to the Caribbean.
Yep.
Someone's gonna, you're gonna come across someone who knows.
Yeah.
They're following. They're either following Colin or they're following you, and they're like, "Hey, I'm gonna go try to get a tattoo from Duca."
Yeah.
And then that's when you say, "All right, $59.99 plus tax, please."
Yeah.
A little pricing. You have a little pricing set
Yeah.
up.
Not too long ago, a friend paid us a hamburger in
And you got
exchange for a
this
tattoo.
sweater.
There you go.
Colin gave me this sweatshirt in exchange for the tattoo.
Yeah, that's cool. Hey, I'm all about the barter system.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Dealing with boats and consignment, and if I can trade you one thing for another, and keep the government out of it,
Yep.
and don't
Yeah,
need the
yeah, yeah.
cash and the exchange rate.
Yep. They always
know?
say, don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah,
If the channel goes bad, we need to survive.
Yeah.
I need to learn new skills.
yeah.
And I think tattoo, more and more, who knows how to do it, they're never going to starve.
Other cool thing is to give the opportunity for friends to tattoo.
Yeah.
So what happened this week is, do you know Rigging Doctor?
Yes.
So she is a good artist, and she did a tattoo in Kiki
Like
2 days ago.
Okay.
Yeah, she always dreamed of tattooing someone, but she
Yeah.
never got the opportunity to do that. Like, oh, you want to tattoo someone? Kiki, where's your friends like? Hey, here's Maddie, Kiki, you can do your first tattoo. We also, on the
It's
party,
really good.
on the award, I don't know if you saw, but there was a kid. There's a channel called Sailing Catalpa.
Yes.
He's a really good artist. And I've
Really?
been following him for a long time. He's 17.
Wow.
Yeah, he's staying with his family. It's like dad, mom, and 2 kids.
Uh-huh.
And he's 17. He do like digital arts and
Yeah.
also like markers art. And he's really good. He sent me actually a few months ago a painting of his own. We have on our boat. And I always said, you need to tattoo. You're good. You're good. So
Yeah.
he did his first tattoo on Kiki 4 days ago
On the awards.
on the awards.
Very cool.
So it's good. We, you can change people's life by having a tattoo machine.
Yeah.
So back to the awards. How was it when, last year we do the boat show, and it's kind of like the first thing. It's your first, like, shock of cold water into the whole, YouTube world and the excitement of it. Fast forward a year later, you're being nominated for Best YouTube Sailing Channel.
Yeah.
Like, how's that? Explain how, and such, what I think is, a short amount of time. And then it's just like, look what we've done. And, look how cool other people think our stuff is, and it really is. And within that short amount of time, you're right up there. You're right there. And I truly believe that, you all are right there.
Yeah. I think like because this first to get nominated was like popular vote, like people voting on the internet, and to be nominated means somehow we touch someone, somehow someone understand what we are doing, and the reason for that is because I think it's really hard to fake something for a long time.
Right.
We've been doing weekly videos for 256 weeks. That means 5 years.
Yeah.
It's hard to not be real. And I think as this is really our dream, like it's a long time ago dream, we've been, we dream for so many years on that. I think comes across natural on the videos, and people just, I don't know, they just communicate with that. They just connect with that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
And I
organic.
think it's really cool when you feel like actually people get you.
Yeah.
That's awesome. We're really, I
Now
don't know,
you're a
excited.
you're a little pissed when you came in second, though.
But let's put it this way. It's not fair. Colin is a celebrity from TV. He
Yeah,
went
he's
to
up there.
he's 3 seasons of a reality show.
Yeah, it was
Not
funny.
fair game. Not fair
People
game.
don't know about the third one, but okay.
They don't know? Yeah, he
No.
recorded a new. Yeah, whatever.
We are.
Colin, sorry.
We're sitting there, and with my wife Rachel, and a lot of her girlfriends. They watch the show and they're, oh, Colin, Colin.
Yeah.
Yeah. And other people are like, oh man, that's cool. He's at Bacon's, blah blah
Yeah.
blah. And so she's like Snapchatting and just showing everything.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, her phone from all of her friends. Oh my gosh, where's this at? Oh, how come you didn't tell me there was there? She was like, I didn't know he was gonna be here and all this. So it's
It's a joke that when I say that he's a celebrity.
Yeah.
Because for me, he's just my friend.
yeah, exactly.
And to be honest,
Yeah.
he's doing a great job.
Yeah.
We've been on his boat. We've been in a few episodes of his. He's been in a few episodes
He
of
works
ours.
really hard.
He works really hard and he deserves. To be honest, I think he deserves everything.
Yeah.
It's all good. But of course, he's a really competitive guy. And
Yeah.
I'm also a little bit competitive.
Uh-huh.
So it was funny because it was a friendly competition, but a silent one.
Yeah.
Like for a few weeks, the award was like people voting and see who goes to the final. But the rule was the 2 most voted go to the final and plus a white card, like someone that they choose, right? But Colin was was not pushing much, like on Instagram, on YouTube, and we do 1 post on Instagram, and then we gain a few votes,
And he did on Facebook.
and then he saw it, and I know that we didn't talk about it.
Yeah.
Now we know.
No, of course, but we didn't. We know we didn't. we didn't talk about it. It was just like silent. And I'm like, and then he pushed a little bit. I'm like, oh motherfucker. So now so anyway, I know he's playing. Let's play. Yeah, let's play.
And then we did a video talking about it, and then he did a video.
Yeah, and then
talking about it.
So then we put like on our episode, and he was like, oh, they're getting too much votes. So he put on his episode.
In
So
the
we started
beginning
like,
of his episode.
so we started like actually fighting
Yeah.
for the title without talking, knowing. I know he knew. He knew I know.
Yeah.
But was just, like a friendly competition. And then I understood that he understood wrong the rules. He didn't read the rules. He thought he was winning, actually. He thought the most voted was done. That's it. That's the best YouTube sailing channel. And 3 hours before the votes finish, I messaged him. No, it's not even 3 hours. I knew that 5 days before. And I hold myself not to let him know. I'm like, let him think he won. Like just let. And then 3 hours before finish, I messaged him like, hey, Colin, it seems like it's going to be me and you in the final, huh? He's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, yeah, the 2 most voted are going to go to... I didn't win? What? What the fuck? Like, yeah, man. I'm like, don't worry. And just to let you know, one of the guys that started Young Cruisers, he has Odd Life Crafting tattoo on his leg. So I'm not saying anything.
Man. Yeah.
That was funny. Yeah, I mean, just friendly competition.
It was that was a really cool show.
Yeah.
The whole idea behind YCA, I think it's kind of ingrained into a lot of the cruisers, just in general. Of it's a mindset, it's a mindset of helping each other out. It's a mindset of, inclusivity.
Yep.
And meeting up in person, and cruising together, and coming from all around just for the lifestyle.
Yep.
And that was a really when he was talking about it, I think it resembled with a lot of folks about how the whole idea. It's that age is just a number, and how many channels I've met this past week that they're well into their 50s. Yep. And they're retired, semi-retired, or whatever. And now this is I've talked to a couple of them who, they're probably a couple in their late 50s. They said, this is our purpose now.
Yep.
And I'm like, wow. It's like, I'm like, so what did you do before this? I'm like, oh, kids are off to college. We sold the house. The dogs died, and so it's like, oh,
time to leave.
What do you want to do? Oh, let's get a boat.
Yeah.
Let's get a camera and a laptop and make something happen. And it's cool. You get to see what they're all about, and everybody comes from a different background. It's like y'all's background is really interesting, and
a mix of everything.
Yeah. It's but that's it, and everybody kind of meets somewhere in the middle. It just happens to be Annapolis, which is awesome. Great for me. I don't have to drive too far.
You don't need to get 4 flights tomorrow.
Oh my gosh! Wow. Where's the first landing?
New York.
Yeah.
Then Miami. Then São Paulo. Then Recife.
Economic class.
Ooh, terrible class.
Well, at least y'all are the right size now. If it was me, it's
a little bit worse.
Hey, pilot, get out of the way. I need the leg room. Let me fly co-pilot right quick.
Oh man.
Let's see. Where do you see this industry going in the future? And say next 10, 15 years.
You mean sailing channel? You mean
sailing
in
channels, sailing, the lifestyle, the industry, everything.
Yeah, I see more and more that there are so many channels that somehow you need to, in order to make a living out of it, you need to
be authentic.
Something. You need to create new ways of telling story, because it's not that we're competing against anyone. But there are, 2,000 YouTube sailing channels. And I think more and more the content, it tends to get better.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you watch others and you get better, the other get better. It's just, I think it improves a lot. But at the same time, I think people are gonna start finding new ways of telling story or going to different places, and I look forward of seeing like different, kinds of traveling, different kinds of boat, and a lot of different niches inside of the niche. Because there's
Yeah.
the sailing niche, but then there is the beauty niche, there is the refit niche, then there is the cold weather niche, then there is the Bahamas niche. So
We
you know what I
met
mean? Like,
we met a couple this weekend that I didn't know them before because there are so many channels, and we get together really well. And she has so many
recipes.
and she cooks really well, and
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to watch their channel.
Yeah, that's great.
So the niche is cooking. He fishes and she cooks, and I'm really looking forward
To
on
visit
board
them.
lifestyle. On board lifestyle.
That's a great
Yeah.
duo right there.
Yeah,
You
so-
fish, I cook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think more and more the companies are going to understand that in order to survive on the today's market, they need to work with the internet.
Yeah.
There's no way around.
Yeah.
I mean, back in the days, you would pay for magazine advertisement. No
Mhm.
one reads magazines
Or
anymore.
send out paper catalogs.
Or paper catalogs. No one do that anymore.
Mhm.
You watch YouTube channels, and what a better way to show your products than on sailing channels.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that opens up a lot of opportunities for people that actually like what they do, because I think it's not an easy job. Looking from outside seems like it's really simple, but it's a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
The one problem about YouTube is that somehow a lot of channels manage to go viral or to grow a channel when they're not ready to have a business.
Mm-hmm.
But in order to maintain a channel, you need to know how to maintain a business, because it's not just making videos, it's a business. You need to know how to talk to companies. You need to know how to manage your Patreon page, how to manage this and that and that and that. And it's getting more and more professional. You need
Yeah.
to know business. And that sucks because a lot of people, it's the same as being like, I'm a great soccer player, but I don't know how to manage my career.
Right.
You won't go anywhere.
Mm.
Because not just playing soccer is not enough. You need to have someone to help you out to maintain your career. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I think more and more people are going to understand that in a way that companies also understand that and work together as a big industry. And where did that go from there? I have no idea. It's just time will tell. Right. We are lucky. We are really, really thankful for this community.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for YouTube and our channels community, we would not be here today.
Yep.
We could not afford to have the boat we have now, for sure.
Mm.
So we are thankful for the possibility of doing that. 30 years ago, that would not be possible.
Right. Yeah.
What's going to be in 10 years from now? I haven't.
Yeah.
Would be something else. I don't know.
10 years ago was so different.
Yeah. Yeah. It was. You look at the old OGs like
Delos.
Delos
White
and
Spot Pirate,
Vagabond
yeah.
and the
Nika.
Distant Shores,
Yeah.
and they're the founding fathers essentially of the sailing vlogger.
Yeah, it's crazy. But back then, even though there was no, let's put it this way, competition, but there was no market also.
Mhm.
Now there's more competition, but there's also more people watching.
Yes. There's
I
more people
think-
getting interested into it by the idea
Yeah.
of, like the crossover between van lifestyle,
Yeah.
people in vans and RVs and sprinters
Yeah.
and tiny houses, and the sailboats.
Yep.
And by cruising, any sort of yacht, and really, the algorithm works like that.
Yep.
And so it's kind of like, hey, I'm tired of being on land all the time. I'm gonna go hop on a boat, or I'm tired of my boat sinking. I'm gonna go hop on an RV. So it's I think that's definitely the YouTube and Instagram and personal blogs and forums
Yep.
are definitely the way.
Yeah, what I
It-
think is
it
like it's
is.
really cool about the internet is that everyone has the similar opportunity. That doesn't mean that that job is for everyone.
Right.
What I think is that many people that we actually know started doing something for the wrong reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, I always say, like, if your goal is to make money, go do something else. There are way easier ways of making money. But if you really love to sail and to travel and to make videos, you can make a living out of it.
Yeah.
If that's really your passion. You know what I mean? Money is the consequence, is not the mean. And that's really possible. But if you just want to make money, just work with something else that's much easier and more
Right.
guarantee.
Yep.
But if you really love, there's a lot of opportunities.
Yeah.
There's like the whole world watching YouTube, and like it's open for everyone. You don't need to know anyone. You need to make good videos, and that's it.
Yeah.
And I
That's
guess
awesome. So next step,
Caribbean.
Caribbean. Any specific island or any specific country or area?
We are gonna arrive in Grenada and then we don't know.
Go from there.
Yeah, we need to haul out our boat in Grenada,
I love it.
and then we have literally
love
no
it.
idea.
I love it. The in my life,
Yep.
The best times I've had were the unplanned times.
Yep.
And when you go in with open minds, open hearts, and open to ideas,
Yep.
especially in the cruising and
Yeah.
sailing world on
Yeah.
a boat down there, you never know who else is going to be in town. Calico might be down there.
Yep.
Or Breaking Waves might be down
Yep.
there. Whoever you just never
That would be so
know.
cool.
We know because Mother Nature
Yeah.
is gonna say, "Oh, you might want to go here, but the winds are gonna allow you to go here."
Yeah,
And so, if you keep that mentality, which obviously that I feel like that's y'all,
yep,
then
Yeah.
the best is yet to come.
yeah. Basically, we're gonna arrive in the Grenada probably, and then we're gonna feel like where everyone's going.
Yeah.
Oh, everyone's going this way. That's it.
Yeah.
I know that right now, Kik and Taylor are in Grenada. They just arrived today, actually, back from the boat show.
Oh wow,
She just sent a message saying that,
Yeah.
they're arriving in Grenada because he's wearing our T-shirt.
I love it.
But by the time we get there, they're going to be left already.
Yeah.
And they're going to be on the next island. So we'll probably go there. If they're still close, we'll probably go straight to where they are because they're good friends.
Yeah.
And from there, we decide what to do.
That's so cool.
Yeah. I strongly believe in baby steps.
All right.
One step at a time.
Okay.
You go anywhere.
Yeah. Anything y'all want to mention before we wrap this up?
You guys are awesome.
I appreciate you.
Oh, I want to say something.
Okay.
I don't know if he's going to be listening, but Jeff, the guy that organized the boat show, he's awesome. And
Ah,
I didn't tell him today because I promised him that every single day I'm in Annapolis, I need to tell him that he's awesome. And as I didn't meet him yet today because we're going to go for dinner with him now,
Yeah.
just want to say he's awesome.
That's why I did that shout out for him on Saturday. And I meant it. I was like, hey, everybody here, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the legend of Jeff Bach.
Yeah, 100%.
He's the man.
Yeah.
He's
The whole family is working on
yeah. Yeah, the whole family.
Yeah.
His daughters were bartending. The one was playing the music
Yeah.
with her fiance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Cam, she helps out too. It's
They're such nice
the
people.
sailing world is very fortunate
To have-
for them.
yeah.
And they're very, very cool people. The most humbling, open-hearted, bounce off idea. It's just the good people.
Yeah. When I say that, I tell him every day that he's awesome.
Yeah.
I really hug him once a day while I'm in Annapolis. And I say, Jeff, you are awesome. And you need to know that every
Yeah.
single day of the trip.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. How can listeners and viewers get a hold of your channel? Where can they find you?
Wildlife crafting. That's it.
Yep. Google or YouTube,
Google
online,
it.
or Yahoo,
YouTube,
whatever your
yeah, you
thing
just
is,
put on YouTube.
DuckDuckGo, whatever you're using.
Yeah, just YouTube, Wildlife,
Wildlife crafting.
youtube.com/wildlife crafting, or at Instagram, wildlife crafting, or wildlifecrafting.com. Oh, that's cool. You can go wildlifecrafting.com. No one wants to see our webpage.
Yeah, wildlifecrafting.com. You can check out their story, check out their boat.
Or you can send us an email at wildlifecraft@gmail.com.
Now, do y'all have a Patreon yet?
Yes,
We
we
do
do have a
have it.
Patreon. Yeah.
All right. Send them some money. They're going to Mets. It's not a cheap trip, folks.
Oh.
We just spent $3,000 on tickets to Mets.
And that's American. Do the exchange rate in your head.
5.2 by 1 to our money.
Yeah,
I'm not complaining,
yeah.
but I think it's worth to, the risk of going to Mets. It's a really
Yeah.
good for
I haven't been there, but from everybody I've talked to in the industry who has, they're like it's unreal.
It's a leap of faith.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're
Well,
like, we could not afford right now to do that,
Yeah.
but we're like, no, fuck that, we're going.
what's the saying? YOLO. You only live once.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, I believe in that.
All right. Well, hey, you guys are
Dude, thanks so much.
my number 2. technically 3 if you want to
Yeah.
include the 50 people that were
Oh,
here
yeah.
Saturday night.
Yeah,
But I wouldn't have it any other way that you are
that's
here.
our
this week.
pleasure.
You guys are so cool.
And until next year, the day after the boat show.
That's it.
It's the
Yeah.
year thing, you know?
Unless I come down to the Caribbean and
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
You're always invited.
I might be down there. Might bring one of my boats down. You know, I got a little
Oh.
15-foot skiff out there. So.
Oh, yeah. That would be awesome. Yeah, you can hang on the back of our
Very
boat.
All right, here we go. That's Odd Life with Duca and Rose.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, Rose like, save some room for me.